football. It's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents Something the Boxing Game's Missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, I'm up at it bright and early, just got out the gym. Now I'm at my favorite smoothie place here in South Florida. If you know, you know. You know, fruits out here on Sheridan Street, drinking my berry bopper. This the healthy shit. Y'all don't know about this. This real healthy stuff, so we can have longevity, health-wise, and be handsome for many years to come. But anyway, I wanted to speak about, some more Terence Crawford stuff. I feel like myself, like anybody else in the boxing world right now, we're all still coming off the high of Inoue Fulton and Crawford Spence. They're both great performances, one-sided beatdowns that displayed the greatness of two of boxing's premier talents. But in this particular video, I wanted to get into a fight that people are calling for now, and that fight is in the form of Terence Crawford and not Errol Spence, but Jaron Ennis. Because yes, Crawford is undisputed. Yes, Crawford has, taken over the welterweight division. He's the man. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. But a lot of people feel like Jaron Ennis is the best welterweight out there, and I'm not mad at them for feeling that way. He passes the eye test. He's got a great blend of elite fundamentals and athletic ability. And truth be told, anybody who's listening to me here on True School Sports, you guys know I always said that Terence Crawford and Errol Spence was no longer number one versus number two. It was number one versus number three. I didn't think Errol Spence was as good as Jaron Ennis or Terence Crawford at this point in his career. So with that being said, the question now becomes, who would win between Terence Crawford and Jaron Ennis? And it's a great fight. When you factor in that Terence Crawford is, 35 going on 36? Age isn't on his side, but he seemed to have found a bit of the fountain of youth, and he's been boxing's most consistent performer, one of boxing's most consistent performers, if not boxing's most consistent performer over the last, decade or so. So let's break it down. Let's break that fight down for you guys. What would be the advantages for Jaron Ennis? Well, obviously youth. Youth is on the side, I should say. He's got that going for him. He's a big welterweight, so I feel like size-wise, he can definitely match up with Crawford. But the X factor for him, more than anything, I think, if that fight were to ever come off, whether it be at 47 or 54, the ultimate X factor for Boots would be his athleticism. His ability to explode, to go from 0 to 100, to throw combinations from different angles, to match Terence Crawford's versatility. Because there's been an ongoing debate in boxing between fans that, who's better between the two? Is it, as far as switch hitting, is Crawford the better switch hitter, or is Ennis the better switch hitter? Personally, I think Boots is a great switch hitter, but I don't think it's fair to call him a better switch hitter than Crawford. Crawford has taken that talent and he's exploited it all the way to becoming a two-division undisputed champion. So I'm going to give him that respect. But truth be told, if they were to fight, I think Terence Crawford would beat Jaron Ennis. I feel like I've seen enough of Jaron Ennis to make this assessment. I think the Karen fight told me a lot. I'm not trying to hold Karen Chukajan against him. I'm sure Jaron Ennis and his father, Bozy Ennis, are working hard to improve in the gym. But we saw when Karen Chukajan started moving on him and using that ring. Yes, Boots won the fight or whatever, but Jaron Ennis had a hard time finding Karen Chukajan. Now, Terence Crawford is not Karen Chukajan, and I would venture to say he moves better than Karen Chukajan. He's more balanced than Karen Chukajan. He's a more elite counterpuncher than Karen Chukajan. He's got a sharper jab. There's just a lot of things that he does better than Karen. And Karen, I feel like, is the guy that really kind of exposed some of the chinks in the Jaron Ennis armor. And listen, when you get to that elite world-class level of boxing, when you're fighting guys like Terence Crawford, the most minimal things come up big, and they show up big in fights. So I just feel like Jaron Ennis is his ability to cut the ring off with it not being elite or not quite up to par. I think that would be his ultimate undoing in the fight. Now, I don't think he gets beat up like Earl. I don't think he would get destroyed or whooped like Errol Spence, and I don't even think he would get stopped. I think Terence Crawford will probably respect his power a lot more. He would respect the youth and athleticism of Ennis more, the speed of Ennis more. And I feel like he winds up outboxing him to a UD, like 115, 113 or something like that, or 116, 112. That's how I feel how it's just going to go. Boots definitely has the tools. He has the versatility. He has every skill under the sun. And there's many times where I've said, and I genuinely feel like Jaron Ennis might just be the most skilled welterweight on the planet. I mean, when you see fights like he had against Romain Villa, how could you not at least ponder that thought and think that maybe this guy could be the most skilled welterweight in the world? You know, he just hasn't had the blessing to get the fights that he needs to prove himself. But yeah, that's where I'm at. That's how I see it. Like, unbiasedly, because I'm a fan of Crawford, huge fan of Crawford, huge fan of Boots. Unbiasedly, the way I see it is I see Jaron Ennis' athleticism and his explosiveness and some of his versatility. I see that giving Crawford some problems in the early rounds, but I think Crawford makes the adjustments. I think the aggressive counterpunching. I think the stiff southpaw jab, and even I even throw an underrated punch. I think the orthodox straight right hand, if he decides to fight as an orthodox fighter, will be a big problem for Jaron Ennis. Ennis has this habit, and he showed it even in fights where he does well, like against Villa, where he stays in that pocket a bit too much, and he may give up a shot that he doesn't need to give up. And the thing about Boots is so good at rolling with the shot, meaning that when the punch is coming towards him, he just turns his chin at the last second so he can, not feel the full brunt, the full force of the punch. So I just think Jaron Ennis, when I look at him as a fighter, I think he's got all the tools. I don't know if he quite has the proper amount of seasoning. Like, he has enough fights to where you could say he's ready for Crawford, but did he get enough valuable experience within the 30 fights to allow him to be able to gauge how to use his amazing skill set in different situations? Because with Crawford, Ennis would have to know when to be in the pocket. He'd have to know when to turn him, when to counterpunch, when to explode, when to conserve energy. All those things, all these little things that maybe people don't consider in a fight like that, they make all the difference. And I just feel like if Terence doesn't get old overnight, he won't knock him out, and I don't think it'll be quite as sensational of a performance like it was against Errol. But I just think his balance and his footwork and his ring awareness, ring generalship, as they would say, I feel like that would be Terence Crawford's main advantage in the fight, and I would say he wins a close but clear UD. But I'm not writing Jaron Ennis off at all. He definitely has the skills to beat Crawford, and I hope for our sake as boxing fans, whether it's at 47 or 154, we get a chance to see it. So yeah, give me your thoughts down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. I know I got a lot of Philadelphia viewers, so yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just kidding, Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. We're here at the Hatanaka Boxing Gym in Nagoya, Japan. And for more great videos just like this one, make sure you guys click right here.